All right, well, we're joined now by Krishnamurthy Subramanian. He is the former Chief Economic Advisor of the Government of India, somebody who's tracked all of this very, very closely. For you, if I was to ask you, put you on the spot, succinctly, your top 3 highlights of this interim budget.
You asked me 3 things, Vishnu. Let me give you 3 words. There's echo. Can you reduce that, please?
We'll fix the fallback. Yeah.
Judicious, non-populist, and visionary. Why is it judicious? Because the fiscal consolidation path that has been laid is reflective of a very judicious, a way to go about it. It's non-populist because no big bang measures have been announced. The measures that have delivered high growth with sound macro fundamentals, those have been redoubled upon. And visionary, when you look at the 1 lakh crore amount for innovation, I think that's important. The capital expenditure increase of 11%. I would have preferred even higher allocation for that, but even 1,11,000 crore increase is significant, and the incentives being given to states for capex together with tourism as well, fostering tourism. I think those are all setting the vision for 7% plus growth in the coming decade. So those are the 3 words that I have for you: judicious, non-populist, and visionary.
In terms of the capital expenditure outlay, there is a very ambitious plan which has been put out. 3.4% of the GDP, that will be the total cost. But the criticism that is coming in from the opponents or the critics of the government is that they have completely overlooked the aspect of employment generation. So how should all these aspects like, expenditure be seen? They say that it's a great move, but when it is about the bread and butter issue, that has not been taken care of.
Maria, you would remember that in the 2018-19 economic survey, we had analyzed very carefully what creates sustained growth, including inclusive growth through jobs. And we had pointed out that it starts from investment. That is why the emphasis on capital expenditures is incredibly important. Some people are pointing out that private investment has not picked out. When I look at the data, actually, I see a different picture. If you look at the corporate capex, capital expenditure done by corporates, in FY22 it increased by 28%. In FY23 it increased by 23%. In FY24, this year, in the first half of the year, it's increased by 10%. And typically, capex does, the run rate is higher in the second half of the year. So when you put it together, in the last 3 years, corporate capex has actually gone up, and this is Axis Bank data, it has gone up by more than 60%. So the impact of this on employment actually will be, definitely seen because, not just in India, but anywhere else in the world, it is investment that eventually creates jobs, and that is already happening. I'll give you a couple of statistics on employment from the PLFS data.
For a second, because I'm also
if you look at the youth,
Sure, just hold that thought for half a second.